Hey guys, Project Pat 345 coming at you with another deck profile. I still have my hero deck, but I decided to go together and throw together Dark World. My logo is full of heroes, and I really don't like playing what a lot of people are playing in my locals, which is why I stopped playing like Insectors and now heroes. And I decided to go with Dark World because it honestly is the worst matchup for heroes, just because it's really hard for them to get over Grapha. With Shining, but I mean, when they do, that's what the side deck's for. So I guess you guys could call this Dark World Turbo, in a sense. The main way I win is, if you go first, just try and open up Grapha as quick as possible. And it just puts you in a really good spot because it's extremely hard for them to get over that. Pretty much any deck this format right now, really. So I'll just show you guys the deck list. It's 3 Grapha, 3 Snow, 3 Brow, pretty staple Dark World stuff. 2 Beige. It's a good card. If you happen to have one in your hand, say, and you summon a Dark World to bounce Grapha, and they warning it or something. You can use Gates effect to any other discard outlet to discard this. And special it and bounce for Grapha, so your Grapha still hits board. It's also just another card, just like anything else, that you can just summon and bounce. And then 1 Malefic Stardust. Just like the guy that won YCS in Long Beach, his explanation is pretty much the same. 95% of the time, people are just going to wait for you to banish with Gates, and then activate MST to get the extra plus. So if you activate Gates and then just summon Stardust, or Malefic Stardust, it protects the Gates and gives them almost a dead MST. So the card's really good. It's almost a surprise card, pretty much. I know it's a low that's all the monsters. I know it's a low monster count, but because there's a lot of draw power in the deck, you get to the cards you need. Play Triple Gate, obviously. Triple Drag Down. This card's absolutely ridiculous. It's so good to go against windups, and you just pick the card out that they need for the loop, or Insectors, you pick the Dragonfly or the Centipede, and it's good because it lets you also know what your opponent's back rows are, so you know if you're just safe to swing with Grapha, or you need to hold it back and pop some back row first or something like that. So this card's very good. I am playing Triple Dealings. Like I said, it is turbo. Even though it's really bad in the mirror match. For locals and stuff, you guys, I'm sure you guys know pretty much what half your locals is already running. So, you can do this first turn with no worries. But I mean, like at a regional and stuff, you just don't play it first turn and wait to see what they're playing. It's not the best against stuff like Insectors because they can just discard the Hornet. Or, against windups, they can just discard Hunter. But I mean, it's still a very good card because it's a draw power and a discard outlet. Went ahead and played Triple Upstart, just to thin the deck and just get to the combo cards that you need, like Card Destruction. Card Destruction is absolutely devastating against pretty much any deck this format. If you open up with this with at least 2 or 3 Dark Worlds in your hand, it allows you to get so far ahead of your opponent that they can't keep up. The other day at locals against Rabbit, I opened up with Card Destruction and I discarded a Rabbit, a Fiendish Chain, a Dark Hole, and he scooped as soon as I played it because there was no way he was able to come back. But Card Destruction is obviously a very good card. You play Foolish. It's a first turn way to get Graph on board. You just summon a monster, activate Foolish, bounce, and then your Graph is on board. The staples: Book, Heavy, Reborn, Hole. I chose to play Heavy just because it's a good card that you can plus off of if they have multiple back row. Because if they're bad, they may think, he may not either be playing Heavy Storm or he's not going to Heavy Storm away his Gates, but it's a very good card that you can plus off of. I chose not to play MST just because I didn't like picking off random back rows, so I just felt like Heavy Storm was a much better card. Then on in the trap, you play Triple Reckless. It allows you to get really far ahead of your opponent. It sucks that you can't draw for 2 turns, but 95% of the time when you have a Graph on board, that really doesn't matter because you're just swinging for big beats with Grapha. and it allows you to get to your discard outlets and stuff. So even though you're not drawing for a couple of turns, you're still going to be plussing off the Reckless because you're going to be able to draw off of other stuff. 2 Mind Crush. You see your hand or your opponent's hand a lot, like with the drag downs and things like that. And also too against if you happen to attack a Sanguine or like an Insectors, if they don't pop it and they search with Centipede or Heroes, it's really good against Heroes because they have so many like Ecall, Rhoda, Stratos, things like that. They have a lot of search cards. Double Torrential. 1 Deck Dev. I don't want to go 2 because I don't want to get cloggy, but I felt it was necessary against stuff like Insectors and Windups. Only 1 Skill Drain. My friend Jeff helped me with the build, and he told me to only play 1 Skill Drain, and I really didn't want to listen to him. I felt like 2 is necessary, so you draw it, but 1's been testing out really well. It's just the deck is so fast with its draw engine that you draw into the 1 when you need it. And I feel like if you play 2, you just draw it dead a lot because you need the cards to keep the draw power going. And then 1 Solemn. I'll show you guys the side and extra deck. For extra deck, it's really not that special. 1 Utopia and 1 Utopia Ray, just because you play, beige, basically. 1 Zenmaines, Acid Golem, and Leviathan. I should have a Levier, but I got rid of it. Just because you do play Brow, and, Reborn does exist. So these are just here just in case. Then for the extra deck, it's really nothing special. Just 2 Stardust, Scrap, Colossal, Black Rose, Ancient Fairy, Brio, Gaia. I know it's only like 13 or 14 cards, but I'm missing like Catastor and like Levier and stuff. Onto the side deck, this is where it gets kind of weird because, I wasn't really sure what to side in against other matchups with this, so... 2 Snowman, obviously. Even though you do play Skill Drain, like Joe Gelando said for the hero deck, against, this is the single best card in the Dino Rabbit matchup, pretty much, to just get rid of stuff. If you do have a Skill Drain up, you should be winning anyway. And in which case, he's a 1900 wall that they can't get over in the Dino Rabbit matchup. And if you don't have Skill Drain, it's popping a card. So that's good. Double Crow. It's good against Windups and Sectors. The mirror match, I guess. Stuff like that. 2 Chalice. This is actually supposed to be 2 Vanity's Emptiness. Just because with a Vanity's Emptiness on board with a Grapha, it's almost impossible for them to come out of it, especially if you drag down their hand. You don't have to worry about the Reborn or something like that. You can just get rid of the other power cards, and they're not going to be able to get over Grapha. So this is supposed to be 2 Vanity's Emptiness, not Chalice. 2 Smash against the Dino Rabbit matchup still, and sometimes the Rogue, like just random Rogue decks, and even the Mirror match, because you can just destroy Grapha and swing. This is 2 Space, and we'll just call this Mystery. I really am not sure about this card, if I want it to be a 3rd Space, or if I want it to be a 2nd Deck Dev. I'm really not sure what I want it to be, so I'm going to test both, but that's why that blank's in there. 2 Deprison, solely because of Heroes. Heroes are just so big, and if you Deprison the Shining, they lose advantage. Even though Gemini Spark is chainable, you just have to play it smart. That's all. So that's why the 2 Deprisons. The 2nd Skill Drain, just because 2 is still really good. And 1 Smog. I'm not maining Smog because I felt like in this version it was just too slow. I just felt like, if you just turbo your way through Grapha, that you really don't have to worry about it. But the card's very good, especially if you have like Snow. I did it against Windups where he attacked and I let it go. And then in main phase 2 he tried to do something and I Dark Smogged, pitching Snow. And I grabbed Grapha, and then my turn I activated Smog, discarding the Grapha to kill the Acid Golem. So Smog is still a very good card. I just felt like, Dino Rabbit being the best deck of the format, I really didn't want to have a dead card against them. But I'm definitely not saying the card's bad. The card's still very good. So that's my Dark World deck, guys. Let me know what you guys think about it, what you would change about it. Another card I was thinking about adding, if you guys let me know, would maybe be Trance Archfiend in the side deck, solely against like the mirror match, just because you can side out your Dark World dealings into Trance Archfiend, and it gives you a discard outlet, and your opponent doesn't have to. So that's my Dark World deck, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks.